Welcome to my first YouTube video. I'm a director and an animator since, I guess, it's already 20 years. So what is this about? What is this project? I would call it a fake series title sequence. Why do I say fake? It's for a fake series I came up with so I can make a title sequence for it. And this is the actual title sequence. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do the title sequence. This idea was in my head for a while, but I actually was inspired to do this specific one by Peter Martinez of United Scale Arts, who built a O-scale powerhouse, as we call it, which is part of a bigger 1950s era model. And if you want to know more about this powerhouse, there's actually a full video I made with Peter about this project where he actually builds this powerhouse from scratch. And you can actually watch the video. I will put it in the description. The main thing I started with after I knew I wanted to do this is actually looking at stuff you like. And as I said before, I really like title sequences. And so I dug into title sequences I knew, tried to find new one, tried to find inspiration. I rifled through a lot of them. Some of them were new to me. But actually, I ended up with two major references. One is Walking Dead, the one of Walking Dead. This is one I really always liked, also because of the music. And another one I really like, and I think it's in general a really popular one, is the True Detective Season 1 intro. I capture them, I put them in my editing software, and then I see that I really look frame by frame. I look into it and try to see how it's actually made, how it's crafted. I think the main thing I noticed in general is these things that makes everything so fluent and fit well together. You find this in the transitions a lot, and it's very subtle. It's like a few very nice effects. Sometimes it's just scaling and shifting and stuff like that. But if you want to know about these things, just tell me and I can look into it. What is also happening a lot, and that's kind of more like an editing technique, I would say in general, that you try to find something in the shot, and try to pick up the motion in the next shot if you can. Or maybe do the exact opposite if that serves your storytelling. So that's something I observed there and I really liked, and I wanted to put that in my title sequence. So the script actually starts, I wouldn't call it a script, it's more like a bullet point list. It actually starts during the research. I roughly write down the general mood, which in this case was most likely a true crime series, very dark, really dark and unknown, keeping things unknown, unrevealed, makes it more interesting. But in this case, I really played with this. I wanted to have this constant movement of the camera towards the house, we are moving in on it. Since we are just watching and it's moving towards it, it's kind of not in our control. It's kind of it kind of gives you anxiety a little bit. Then I also thought about the color palette I wanted to have, and I think that's not just about color grading. Besides the color grading, that you create a color palette even before you start, so you could actually choose the lighting according to it, and you can choose the props according to it, and the whole location. It's not just the color grading; it's just choosing very particularly the items you place in the scene, that they actually fit in your color palette, and later you kind of complement all these things in the color grading. It's just on top of that. So for the color palette, I actually decided to go with a strong red, orangey, blue, greenish look. I mean, it's kind of a modern thing right now, but I think I also got inspired a little bit by the already existing scale model we used for it, because it had a lot of red, orange, and also like a lot of green tones to it. The color palette for me meant, in this case, I will choose, for example, the car we see later. It's also like in the bluish area. So next what I did was, I do this very early, like I try to find the right music for the whole thing. Maybe that's just how I work. I really function through music. Sometimes if I'm stuck or I don't want to start with a new project, I just go ahead and look for some music, and then I can see the pictures in my mind. That's something that is really working for me. But in this case, I think it also was very important because I had to kind of determine how long this thing is, and I wanted to do that through the music. And I use Epidemic Sound for that. I will put the link in the description. I really like it, especially because they have these stems where you can actually take apart the whole song and have several tracks of this song. It's easier to mix it and to actually create your own version of it. And so I actually found a song, of course, and it was really nice and dark, and I could actually edit it together. So I had a rough feeling of how long this thing would be. Initially, I think I ended up with 1 minute, 20 seconds, which I thought was really long, but then I checked actually existing title sequences, and some of them are actually that long. And also I thought, okay, I don't have to really stick to these things because it's fake. So I don't have to be too strict about it. Spoiler alert, in the end, I ended up shortening it a lot. The song I pick, I'm pretty aware of the fact that I always will be able to change it still later, but most likely this will be it. That's kind of the mindset I have, because I actually don't stop before I have something where I think, okay, this is it. But this thing, as I said, gives me the main inspiration and sets the mood for the whole thing. This gives me the chance to actually come up with a plan. What pictures do I need? What images do I want to create? And I can write a script, I can write a storyboard, a shot list, and actually plan my shooting so I have the outcome that I need for my title sequence. So this was part 1. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope this had some information for some people how to prepare the making of a title sequence. Please tell me in the comments that if you're interested in having a more in-depth view on something I talked about today, just let me know. And I will see if I can make it happen. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.